If you've been to Portugal, you have seen these gorgeous Azulations tiles. Today, we're going to give painting one a try. Now, before we do, we want to make sure that we get some inspiration. So we are going to go to as many spots as we can and take in as many azulejo tile styles as we can. Can you tell that word stops me? Oh my gosh, this is going to be a day. Take a drink every time I mispronounce it. Just take a shot. It'll make for a good day.
Azulations. Azulations. Is that right?
I think it's azulejos. It like sounds like
Azulations. Azulations.
Azulejos. I was thinking of like shoelaces. As shoelaces. Azulejos.
I wrote it down like azulejos.
Azulejos.
We only have an hour and a half. Melissa has set up this huge itinerary. We've got to find all these buildings.
We'd love to go inside of the cathedral we were just at, but it's not open yet and we've got a lot of places to stop at. So hopefully after the tile place.
We've got to come back. We've just got to. This is São Bento train station. It doesn't look like much, but on the inside it's supposed to be really cool. Lots of tiles.
Here inside of São Bento station, there are over 20,000 azulejo tiles. Remember the drinking game. If I say it wrong, you get to take a shot.
I can just imagine the comments we're going to get by the end of this. They're going to be slurred. They're going to be a mess. Marriage proposals. It's going to be crazy.
Jorge Calçao did the amazing tile work that we see here. Over 20,000 tiles depicting different moments in Portuguese history and some of daily life in Porto or northern Portugal.
I thought I read someplace that this is what the Portuguese culture did with azulejos. Did I say that right? Where they started depicting art and scenes of everyday life instead of just plants and shapes and stuff like that.
That's right. Once the reconquest happened, then the Portuguese were able to do that because it was against Islamic law to depict the human form on a tile.
So far I'm inspired. I'm a little concerned. I don't think I'm going to be able to create a tile this nice as any of these in here. You know what
He
I'm
was
saying?
a master maker. You're not supposed to be able to do it as well as he could.
Oh,
It's okay. Pressure's off. Expectations are low. Azulejo tiles do more than just look pretty. They do have practical purposes too. One of them being to keep humidity out of buildings.
I'd read that azulejo tiles were protected in recent times in Lisbon, but nowhere else. And then in 2017, they made a law to preserve the tiles and the heritage. So we're all gonna benefit from that. Now, honey, I think by us taking this class and learning how to do tiles, we could actually fill a void and we could provide new tiles for buildings that might have lost their tiles.
I think there are a lot of great artists with skills
That would
doing
be so
that.
cool to have a building that has just Chris+Melissa tiles all over it.
Maybe like our new home when we finally decide on one.
We should do that. Let's do it.
The illustrations here depict the founding of the Carmelites.
This is the first time I've noticed tiles that are missing. Honey, we could totally fill that void. We'll just superimpose let's superimpose our artwork onto that, okay?
Yeah, we could have like our little suitcase logo in the center and then you on one side and me on the other.
Okay, that's what we'll do.
Capella das Salmas, and the tiles on its exterior depict the stories of St. Catherine of Alexandria and St. Francis of Assisi. When we first moved to Portugal and saw these tiles, we thought that they were called Azulations because of the color. I mean, after all, like azul means blue in Portuguese. We're like, oh, blue tiles, blue tiles. Okay, that makes total sense. Turns out we were totally wrong. Azulejos comes from an Arabic word that is like azulej or similar to that.
Which means smooth, polished stone.
Correct. Good job, Chris.
It's not all churches and government buildings that have these tiles. There's even grocery stores that have them.
This one's supposed to be gorgeous. I can't wait to see it. It's supposed to be kind of Art Deco. The gentleman who designed the tiles in the Salvento train station is the same one who did these. I believe they went up in the 1920s, 1930s, somewhere right around there.
Okay, do you feel inspired? Do you feel like you've got enough information?
I'm not sure, do you?
I think so.
I got lost in like enjoying the pieces and not thinking critically about, I think I should do. Were you thinking critically when you looked at them?
No, because the whole time I'm thinking, I'm going to do my own thing.
So we went to all of these places for you to be inspired so that you could not be inspired by them. Is that what you're telling me?
No, it's just to reinforce my feelings, that's all. This is our competition right here.
It is not easy to make a decision on this.
So I'm glad that they showed that that's why I'm doing this. Yeah.
Look at that technique.
I don't know about that.
Look at that.
Right.
See? Yeah, I think I do need to drive a bit better.
Dry or very smooth habits.
I think we've got to do the.
I thought this was cool. You can gather inspiration as you take a bathroom break. Now that our tiles are finished, they have to cook at 1,000 degrees or more before we can take them home. That was a lot of fun.
Felt very therapeutic and relaxing. I felt a little apprehensive at first,
Yeah.
but once I got going, it felt nice.
You know, painting using a paintbrush is always way different than using like a pencil or a crayon.
I have anxieties with them all, so
know.
it's all like, ooh.
And there's going to be, when it's all done, there's going to be things that just drive you bonkers, like, oh, I shouldn't have done that, or I should have done this. But I can't wait to see how it turns out.
Yeah, it's gonna be so cool.
It's going to be...
Today is the day we get to pick up our azulejo tiles. Remember my rule about taking a drink every time I say that word wrong, because I am having a heck of a time. Before we do, we have a couple of hours to kill, so we get to stop into Sé de Porto, or Porto Cathedral, and I'm super excited to see the azulejos there and the gorgeous church. I've read great things. Here's what we came for. We came for the azulejos, but there's so much more to Porto Cathedral. It's filled with artwork, artifacts, and treasures. Some date back to the 12th century. It only costs a few euros to enter, which is good, because I think we'll need to come back more than a few times to take in all of its wonders.
Do you think you'd have the skills to do tiles for here?
Not anytime soon. Maybe like when I'm 90. Then my hands will get too shaky.
I think we should wait until we see your tile that we get, because you did one very similar to this. You might have the skills already.
Perhaps, but I sincerely don't think so.
Do you think my tiles would look good here?
Your tiles are amazing and original, and I absolutely love them. However, I don't think they fit in with this aesthetic.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Well, there aren't any tiles in here. We absolutely have to share this with you. It's so gorgeous. Simply stunning.
These are the 5 most interesting faces I've found in the tiles. The tile work is pretty impressive in here, I have to say. What I like about this area here, plenty of white wall space for us to put our tiles when we switch to doing this for a living.
I was gonna go with the chimes. We were told that every type of Azulations tile can be found on Rua de Flores. So we are going to have a stroll and a look.
Rua das Flores, or Flower Street, first opened in 1521. Its original name was Rua de Santa Catarina das Flores. Its name is now shorter, but its history is long. It's been a key artery in Porto. It was the first Porto street regulated by strict building standards to ensure good visibility for the facades. So do you think you've seen enough tile?
I haven't seen the tile I really want to see today, which is the ones that we did. I think we need to get to where the workshop was and pick up our tiles. Now is like the official unveiling time. You ready?
Honey, I'm so ready.
They wrapped them very nicely for us so that we'd be able to transport them home safely. I almost left with them just as is, and she was like, don't you want me to wrap that? And I was like, oh, well, that would be so kind. So this is my angel. And this is following the template they had. This is just a portion of the angel that is on the wall of one of the churches here in Porto. And we took a couple snapshots of it, so you'll get to see it in more of its entirety.
It's pretty good for the first time making an azulation. Hopefully I said that right. If not, take a drink.
Here is my other one. This one was much easier to do with a stencil rather than the freeform.
That is very pretty. Good job. All right, now it's time to show off my work. I'm okay with it. Look at this shiny little cartoon here. I noticed when I was painting, I was like leaving little drops. I'm like, I gotta do something with that. So then I just made it like, I made intentional dots.
Way to make it work.
And this is my second one. This is my more favorite one. Although I am awfully upset with the darkness of the line here and then this. But that's gonna drive me bonkers for years, but I still like it. All right, hon, would you give it a thumb up, a bump?
Absolutely.
Oh, let me get a thumb in there. All right.